I do is separate the grounds from all my other wires. I use my lineman's pliers to twist the grounds together. I cut off the excess, and then I crimp the end together, put the wire nut on there, and fold it back in neatly. You're gonna do that with your neutrals and your hots. You fold them back and forth, opposite of each other, so they all fit in there nice and neat. Then you're going to cut off your stingers to the proper length. I usually fold them twice into the box, and I put a label on so I know what switch is what and what bam. You have a nice looking 3-gang with some good looking service loops.
All right, and then we have the elevator constructor. So this just shows you what their day may look like. Moving on, Leuna, also known as the laborers, so they set up and dismantle scaffolding, ramps, and braces on site. They help with tasks like painting, plumbing, roofing, and they also assist in road work. So they have a wide variety of skill sets. So if I come across someone who doesn't really know which trade, I always recommend the laborers to just take a look at what they do and if they might be interested in learning a wide variety of skill set. So that's just a good one to highlight. We have the ironworkers, so they erect, weld structural steel on bridges, schools, stadiums, and windmills. And they like to call themselves the cowboys of the industry just because they're the ones that are working on tall skyscrapers or buildings. So they're typically strapped in and they're high above, welding those structural steels together, or structural steel beams together. And then we have the operating engineers, so they operate bulldozers, motor graders, backhoes, cranes to shape infrastructures and skylines. So their machines are also used to move soil, supplies, and other building material. All right, we're gonna look at a video for the laborers.
What is the Laborers International Union of North America? We began as a construction union in 1903 and have grown into a powerhouse of highly trained workers, over 500,000 strong. We are the backbone of multiple industries across the United States and Canada. We build the roads, bridges, tunnels, and airports to get you where you need to go. We build the cultural institutions where memories are created, and the energy projects that power North America. We are the custodians and hazardous waste handlers to keep your family safe. We are the public employees that process our mail, keep our parks clean, and provide critical healthcare services. When disaster strikes, our response teams are some of the first to the site. We offer our employer partners a diverse, dedicated, highly trained workforce. From registered apprenticeship programs to continuing education, our training programs ensure our members meet the moment. With hiring halls across the United States and Canada, our workforce is ready to mobilize at any moment to get projects done on time and under budget. Right now, we're on the rise, organizing every corner of the United States and Canada with our march to 1 million members.
Feel the power!
Feel the power!
Okay, and then we have the ironworkers. And then we have the operators. Right. Moving on, we got the painters and glaziers, so they install and fabricate glass, so those are the glaziers. And then the painters, they use commercial and industrial paint as well as drywall finishing and floor covering. Roofers, they install and remove high-quality roofing systems. So that helps ensure the ventilation and keeps the building efficient. And before I move on, you'll notice that a lot of the buildings that they're working on are not gonna be residential. So all of these are commercial corporations that are being built up. So government buildings, buildings like Eli Lilly, hotels like the JW Marriott and other projects. So you're not really gonna be seeing any like residential houses at all. Plumbing and steam fitting. So they fabricate, install, service plumbing, steam, gas, and HVAC systems. So if anyone's interested in HVAC, that's a good program to go into. They process piping systems and control by means of welding as well. So huge welding component in that one. So we're gonna watch a couple videos. First ones are the glaciers. Second one on the roofing. Alright, and then we have the pipe fitters.
Trying to get pipe fitter. What are you doing right now? So you're trying to cut this weld out without damaging this pipe? Is it hard? Alright, show us how it's done. Don't get no better than that. Good job.
These are the last couple bunches. So plaster and cement masons, they coat walls, ceilings, and surfaces with mortar, plaster, stucco. Sheet metal workers, they use welding and computer numeral control tools to cut, bend, and shape metal. Those metal sheets go on structures and are used for framework. Sprinkler fitters, they cut, thread, and assemble pipe for fire protection systems. So this is a completely different system that isn't connected to like the plumbing in a building. So it's a different trade. So yeah, moving on. I guess I wanna like ask a couple questions because I know Mr. Skoll wants you to answer like what are 2 things you learned. Is there a trade that you guys learned today that you didn't even know about existed?
The glazers.
The glaziers, yeah. I know when I started working just overall in the construction industry, I didn't really know what a glazier was. So it's just very interesting to learn more about those trades and see what some of them are kind of overshadowed by. But first video is about the cement masons. Alright, and then we have the sheet metal workers.
The first.
Alright, and then lastly we have those sprinkler fitters. So requirements, by raising hand, who's here is a junior? Seniors? Okay. What are you guys juniors or seniors?
She's a junior and she's a sophomore.
Oh, sophomore, okay. So you can start applying at 17 years old for pre-apprenticeship. So juniors, if you're interested in learning more about what it is to work in the trades, that is a good option because at least you're not applying to be an apprentice yet. You kind of get to know a little bit more of what you're getting into. If you're ready to be an apprentice at 18, you are able to apply for these programs, and I highly encourage you to start doing so. That way you kind of have a chance to start getting in and networking with these guys that are in the trades. Again, it can be a little bit competitive nowadays, but if they see that you're staying persistent, that is something that they take into account. High school diploma or equivalent is required. Reliable transportation and driver's license are required for you to go to and from construction sites. Good attendance record and soft skills, and then you must pass a drug test. So with that good attendance, they want to see that you're attending school. They want to see that you're that you are at least trying, and that if they see that you're not attending school, they're gonna probably think you're not gonna go to the construction site, especially if their day starts at like 5 or 6 in the morning, and that looks different for everyone. So why am I here? Well, again, I'm trying to bring this awareness to you guys that I know there is somewhat of a pressure to go into college, but there are other alternatives for you. If you feel like you're more of a hands-on type of person, this would be a good industry for you to go into. So almost half of the construction workforce is expected to retire at 2031, and that's only 6 years away. Less than 8% of high school graduates and just 14% of college graduates are pursuing careers in construction. So that could look a little bit different. So these numbers are from 2022. 88% of construction firms are having trouble filling opening positions. So that's particularly tradespeople. So if you're looking for an initiative or an opportunity, it is now. There are 347,000 construction job openings nationally at the end of June 2022. At the same time, there were only 167,000 students enrolled in the apprenticeship program. So that's a huge gap. And I can tell you that at the end of June 2022, those numbers happened because of COVID. You know, when the shutdown happened, construction came to a halt and people just decided, you know, I want to retire. I feel like this is just a good time, especially with the economy just at a stopping point right now. We're at that point. So that can look different now. We are getting more students who are enrolling into the apprenticeship programs because it is a good deal. There's a lot of good incentives to it, and we can talk about that a little bit more. By raising hands, who's going to college? Can I ask what you guys are studying?
Graphic design.
Graphic design?
Early education.
Perfect. Okay, wonderful. So this is really for just to show like a comparison. It's not really meant to like discourage anyone. And then we'll talk about what other jobs in the industry that college students could apply to. So, but let's just look at the difference. So week 1, tuition and payment classes begin. So for 4-year college, year 1 through 5, tuition and payments classes continue. Limited work experience in any chosen field. That's probably because you're going to be attending those classes. Graduation, you begin your job search, so there's no guarantee for a job in your field. And then post-grad, average college student debt is $35,397. And these are numbers from 2019, so it says they're at the bottom, so it could look a little different nowadays. And that's not really even taken into account if you have scholarships, so just be aware. But looking at it from the apprenticeship side, on week 1, your paycheck and on-the-job training and classes continue. Year 1 through 5, paycheck and benefits continue, on-the-job training and class continue, and you get your scheduled pay raises. So, like I said, every year you complete that apprenticeship, you get that 10% increase. And then we got graduation, career and paycheck continues, paycheck and benefits continue to grow, and you would have earned some college credits. And then post-grad, you would be $0 in debt and roughly $280,000 in wages earned over those 4 to 5 years. So that is a good way to kind of put it in perspective. So moving on, if you still decide like, you know, working hands-on might not be for me, you know, I can't work on a construction site, it's just not who I am. there's still job openings that are open for you. So I know you said like graphic design, we still need marketing in the industry as well. So if you ever wanna work for construction companies, they're always looking for that kind of work. So you'll be surprised the little niches that the construction industry can have. So even like lawyers and people who are going into the medical field, things like that. So job site superintendents, project engineers, project managers, estimators, mechanical, electrical project managers, BIM modeling designers, construction safety directors, and company owners. All these positions that you see up here are also, you're also able to kind of work your way up. So if you go through the apprenticeship route, you become a journeyman, you can get promoted by some of these companies into these positions right here because you would have had that hands-on experience. So just because you are an apprentice and you become a journeyman doesn't mean you have to be it that your whole life. So just keeping that in mind. And of course, if you go through the college route, you're still able to gain these positions as well. Okay, so what makes us different? I'm sure you guys have probably heard of other trade schools and other trade institutions that offer education within the trades. But going through a union building trade apprenticeship program means you will have job stability. So as soon as you start your job, you're gonna have multiple construction sites to go to. You're gonna be employed by multiple employers, okay? Higher wages, so roughly it's 16 to 25, but that can go up within the next upcoming years due to like the cost of living that's going up. So that's just something that kind of helps put it in perspective. Medical and retirement benefits. So most of these union guys, they receive pension. That's different from what you can receive when you're out in the work field, kind of working for a 401k, for example. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm receiving a 401k, but that money that is in my 401k is coming out of my own like dollars that I work for every hour. But with a pension account, it's not coming out of the union worker's pocket, it's coming out of the union hall. So they're paying you a separate paycheck for your retirement. So it's definitely a lot bigger than what a 401k is, and there's more benefits to it. And then finally, we have that debt-free education component. So the Ivy Tech logo is on there for a reason. 10 out of the 15 programs will receive an associate's degree debt-free. So if you choose one of those 10, you could finish your apprenticeship and get your journeyman card and also get an associate's degree at the end of it as well. And you can take that and continue your education. So if you decide, you know, again, I don't want to be an apprentice, I want to maybe go into getting my bachelor's degree at IU, you can transfer those credits over and you would not have had to pay for it. Even if you don't choose any of those 10 programs that do apply, there's 5 other programs that still give you continuing education, like certifications in welding or in safety or material handling. So you're still growing professionally no matter what. All right, in this video, these are just a couple of apprentices talking about their experience and why they chose the apprenticeship route.
In high school, I played softball, basketball, and volleyball. So naturally, those are all team sports where you have to work with everyone on the job. You're essentially a team trying to finish a project, keep everyone safe, look out for everyone, work together.
Before I played in high school with soccer, that taught me a lot about like working as a team, getting the job done, and it helped me a lot with the trade that I'm doing right now.
When I came back from my time as an Army Ranger, I had a buddy that was in the apprenticeship programs of sprinkler fitter, and he told me the values and what the work was like, and it sounded right up my alley.
So I graduated high school. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, so I applied at a temp agency. I was placed in a warehouse. I worked there for 14 years. Eventually, I ran into an electrician at my job, so I asked him how I could do what he was doing. He pointed me to the apprenticeship.
After high school, I worked in a couple factories, and that was for over a year where I did that. And then my dad convinced me to go to the apprenticeship program.
When I went for orientation and learned about the benefits, it made me excited because of how good the benefits were, and also hands-on training. I'm good with my hands, and being paid while training, that was a plus.
What's rewarding for me is just getting paid to run equipment all day long. I love running equipment. I always have since I was about 5, 6 years old. I always have. That's what's so rewarding for me.
So what I like most about my career is just seeing a project from start to finish. You know, over the summer last year, I worked on elementary school, and it was really cool to take a building that was kind of falling apart, turning it around, and giving kids a safe and healthy learning environment.
I love being able to work on projects that I can, show my kids, hey, Mom worked there. I got to work at my son's school over the summer and got to show him, his old classroom and the classroom that he has this year. But it's something I'm proud of and that they are proud of as well.
Day in life, start work at 7 a.m., get there, get tools off the truck, right, see what the task at the end of the day, go to break, work a little bit more, go to lunch, and then go home, getting all dirty. It's just part of it.
Typical day, training center, I would say it's a lot of variety when it comes to that, because one day you may be coming in and y'all might be working on measurement rulers. There's the college spectrum of it to where you might be working on learning how to manage your personal finances.
I was excited about the benefits when I started because, I had just turned 26, so I lost my health insurance from my dad. I knew there was a pension, which gave me security for when I got older and was ready to retire. I had something to depend on.
This career choice has enhanced my life because it gives me the opportunity to live a life, buy a house, and also have money left over to do hobbies that you may enjoy outside of work. And it gives you more freedom, and it's better overall for your life.
Some of the job expectations that these employers have for new apprentices is they want you to come in and they want you to be willing to learn. They want you to show up on time.
So I'm a finisher, and one thing I like the most is running tools, do some handwork, do some jokes with my partners, have a friendly environment.
What I would tell kids coming out of high school is if you don't have a plan to go to college, if you really don't know what you're going to do yet, go ahead and it doesn't have to be a rough specifically, but go ahead and look at the opinion track.
It's what I am capable of doing. Sometimes it mesmerizes me every time it's shocked. Because I'm like, oh wow, I just did that.
So to be successful in carpentry, I think being a go-getter, being willing to learn really sets you apart. Taking pride in what you do and what you build will take you really far in really any of the trades in general.
A lot of the young students are unsure what they want to do after they graduate high school. They'll be able to go to school and get paid while they go to school, still receive a college degree, and they'll be making a great career salary-wise once they finish.
Built to succeed is a proud partner with the IHSA.
Alright, so, so on your table, there are blue cards, little postcards. I highly encourage you that you take them, even if you don't want to take the flyers, they're both for you. More than likely, if you're not interested in construction, that's okay. You're gonna run into someone else who is. And that could be your parents, your brother, your cousins, your friends, whoever. There is no age limit to this. You just have to be at least 18. So anyone is able to join the construction industry and become an apprentice. So we've had people who are as old as 40, 25, it really doesn't matter. So if you guys graduate, you leave high school, you work in a different industry and then you change your mind, think about us, and if you want to go into the construction industry, that option is still there. So again, that blue postcard, if you scan that, there's a QR code, it'll lead you directly to our application. I just need to know who you are, where do you live, how old you are, do you have all the requirements, and then I will be able to connect you in with the training director. So that's what we do. We are essentially like the middleman. We help people get connected. There's just so many of them around the state of Indiana, so if you move from northern Indiana to southern to central, we would be able to help you get connected with those locals, okay? Again, choose more than one. If you saw a trade that you want to go into, but you're interested in other ones, choose them. because at least we would be able to connect you with all of them, and you would have a higher chance of receiving a response back from one of them. And everyone changes over time, so you might be interested in another one than you were at first. So whenever you're going through our application, just think about that. If you guys want to get in touch with me, you can email me. I know there's probably a lot that we went through today, so if you guys have any questions now, I'd love to help answer them. But again, take those flyers, take that information, and pass it along to your friends or whoever. That way you have that set. But does anyone have any questions? No? Alright. Well, I'm gonna pass out a couple little hard hats to you guys if you guys do have any questions or think of any. I know Ms. Driscoll has my information too, so you can always get connected with her as well, okay?